Hey guys, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is Danish. I'm here with Mark, and wherever you are in the world, I'm sure from many countries. So this is a free community webinar, and today we will be talking about our digital nomad's favorite country, Thailand, and how you can go there. What are the visa options? But before we started, as people are joining in, and we are also recording this webinar, I will quickly share about some of the free resources for all of you, to check out and also share. So I'll be sharing quickly my screen and let you know. So I am the founder of visadb.io, and I created the first visa database, which like 800 visas around the world for your citizenship. So you can go today, you can enter your citizenship, and you can see what visas are available for you, including Thailand or everywhere in the world. You can also check out, filter out based on continent, based on other like sort of kinds like digital nomad or study visas and all that. So check this resource out. And also, if you need to hire immigration expert, yes, this tool got you covered as well. It has all the verified immigration experts, including Mark, and have their services listed, so you can actually contact them and hire them. Rest assured that they all are verified and not going to be a fraud. So this is the first resource. I'm the founder of it, and I created it, and this resource got several awards and funding from European unions and all that. Check it out. And the last but not the least, we want to share the supporter of this community webinar, as these webinars are free, right? And thanks to Mark and thanks to Safety Wing, which actually supporting these community initiatives. They are quite famous in the community. They have the very affordable travel insurance, but also they have the health insurance, which covers pre-existing condition and everything. So check them out. So that's about the community resources. Now I'm so pleased, I'm so grateful for Mark. Thank you, Mark, for joining it. Mark is actually from the United States, but he lives in Thailand, and he is an executive in a company called Shelter, which helps foreigners with visas and work permits so they can live longer in Thailand. So Mark, thank you very much for joining, and I really I'm grateful and welcome you to this webinar. How are you? How's your day?
My day's been great. Yeah, thanks for that nice introduction. I live in Chiang Mai now, and it's really beautiful here. I've been staying in Thailand now for 6 years now.
Wow.
Great place to live.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Why digital nomad? Like, I love Thailand. I've been there as a non-digital a long time ago. But first question to start with, why we love Thailand so much? Why digital nomad? Everybody wants to move to Chiang Mai, Thailand. Why?
Yeah. Well, I guess in the past 10 years, Chiang Mai has taken on the reputation of being the digital nomad capital of the world. And now I think Bangkok is also starting to gain a reputation like that. But I would say the main factors there are the low cost of living, especially in Chiang Mai. And then also there's a great digital nomad community, remote work community, and my favorite part, there's just cafes with fast free Wi-Fi everywhere. There's tons of co-working spaces, and it's just a pretty cool life to lead. Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible. So that means if I move to next year, I move to Thailand, I can connect with peers, I can connect with fellow digital nomads, hustlers, remote workers, entrepreneurs easily.
Yes, very easily, especially in Chiang Mai, Bangkok, Koh Samui, Phuket, Koh Phangan. So you've got the Chiang Mai in the north, Bangkok in the middle, and then the islands in the south are all have their own digital nomad communities.
Wow, this is really exciting. I will ask you more questions around cost of living at the end. But first, of course, the most important thing, visas, right? So first I will start with that. Mostly Americans and Europeans don't need visas. So they can enter like on tourist visas, right? How long that lasts?
Yeah, so you can enter on a tourist visa right now. As will become clear in my presentation, it's probably not what you want to do. You probably want to find a an employer of record like our company first. So you can enter on a business visa. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay, at least during COVID, visa conversion fees. If you want to convert your visa from a tourist visa to a business visa in country, you've got to pay a pretty steep price. But it is possible.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, you know what? I think let's watch your presentation and everybody else here, so we see what options are there for us, and then we can have a quick question and answer sessions.
Okay, so yeah, our company is called Shelter, and our headquarters is in Chiang Mai, but we actually just recently opened a small office in Bangkok, so we're able to use both immigration in Chiang Mai and Bangkok.
Wow.
And yeah, basically what we do is we're a relocation agency that helps technology professionals live and work in Thailand legally. So we're licensed by the Board of Investment here in Thailand. And I guess you could call our business model an EOR. So this is a company that employs digital freelancers, entrepreneurs, remote workers, and even some tech teams, according to the local labor laws here in Thailand. And then we manage your payroll, tax, social security, and all of those processes for you. So yeah, just to touch on some of the topics that we'll be looking at, I'll first talk about the problem and solution that we seek to solve. Professional requirements, required documents, pricing, dependents, onboarding process, Thailand entry requirements, and how to get started. So there's a lot here. I'm just going to kind of breeze through it and then open up for questions after that. So the main problem is a problem that a lot of digital nomads and expats who work online are familiar with, which is not having tax residency abroad. So maybe you're on an education visa or even an elite visa, and you're not paying tax, and you're technically a tax resident nowhere. You don't have a tax number or tax returns, and the time you spend in the country isn't going towards any kind of future residency possibilities like permanent residency. And since you're not paying tax, you're not getting social security benefits like healthcare, which is really nice to have if you're living in a foreign country. And overall, this just kind of leads to visa stress and uncertainty. I know a lot about this. My first 2 years in Thailand, I was on education visas, and then flying back into Thailand 1 year, I got stopped and held there at Don Muang Airport for 2 hours. And they were about to not let me in, but I finessed my way somehow. But it didn't feel very good. So yeah, the solution is obviously Shelter. So what we do is we provide a work permit and a business visa sponsored by our Thai company. We handle the invoicing and the payroll and send you a salary in Thai baht every month. We process your tax and social security payments as required. And if you want to renew at the end of the year, you can do that. And really, you can do that indefinitely. And if you look at some of the icons here, we provide free dependent visas. There's no visa runs or check-ins at immigration. We can provide proof of tax residency through payslips and tax documents. We can support you on your path to permanent residency in Thailand. And in my opinion, we have a great visa support team that's there all the time to help you. So here's what you get with our service, the trifecta, I like to call it. So you get a Thailand non-immigrant business visa for employment. That can be single or multiple entry. You get a digital work permit. And this is actually, you get this after you get to Thailand, once we fill out your work permit application, which is sort of a separate process on its own. And then finally, after making Social Security contributions for 3 months, you get a Thailand Social Security card, which you can use at your local assigned hospital to receive free healthcare, which is really nice. I use that as often as I can. Let's look at the professional requirements. So you need to be at least 22 years old. You need to have either one of the following. An IT-related university degree plus 2 years of work experience, or any type of degree or even a high school diploma would work, plus 5 years of work experience. And these need to be backed by recommendation letters. You need to work in one of the following fields: software development, blockchain, design, marketing, sales development, or some other tech/digital related activity. We're a bit flexible on that. You need to have an existing client base or business or remote work opportunity. Basically, you need to be able to bill at least 1,500 USD per month reliably. And also, our minimum commitment is 1 year. So let's talk about dependents. Yeah, we can support them, and we don't charge anything extra for them if you have a wife or a child. As long as you can provide a marriage certificate or a birth certificate, then we can get dependent visas for them. And this is where it starts to get a bit complicated, the pricing structure. So what we're looking at here is our basic package for the minimum billing amount of 1,500 USD. So there's 4 numbers to keep in mind here. The first one is the onboarding cost, which is a security deposit. And we hold on to this for the duration of your contract, whether that's 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. There's also some government fees that you're going to have to pay at the embassy in your home country if you apply for your visa there, or else when you get into Thailand and you're extending your visa and getting your work permit, there's some one-off costs that you'll just have to pay in cash at that time. And most importantly are the monthly costs. So there's the base fee and tax. And right now we're offering Digital Nomads Nation members 10% off the base fee. So it's usually $550. And we can offer you $495 for a 1-year contract or $467 for a longer term contract. And the tax is pretty minimal, as you can see, just $30 to $40 on that basic billing amount.
Wow. Yay, thank you for the discount.
Yeah, my pleasure. So we're pretty flexible on the billing. Some of our clients like to have higher net salaries on their payday in Thailand. So these are the alternative billing amounts that you can look at. You see the minimum up there at the top, where your net salary is around 32,000 baht. And then some of our clients, especially those who are pursuing the path to permanent residency, they'll invoice more, up to 3,500. I think we have a few clients on 5,000, and that takes your net salary up to 90,000 baht or more, which is plenty of money to live on in Thailand. Okay. Oh, and you can just see there that the tax and the Social Security go up for the higher billing amounts, but the shelter fee remains the same. So that's the fixed kernel in the pricing structure. A little bit about the payroll process. So there's 3 steps here. The first one is, and this all happens after you get your work permit in Thailand. So this might be 2 to 3 weeks after you enter Thailand. We might not start the invoicing process until that late. But basically, we invoice our clients on the 21st of each month for the total billing amount. And then after we receive the payment, we make deductions for service and tax, and then we pay the rest into your Thai bank account in Thai baht. And then, of course, we process all of your tax and Social Security payments as well. We have a lot of payment options, and we're looking into more. Most of our clients use Wise, but you can also do a simple bank transfer, and we're accepting USD coin and Ethereum now, so that's cool. The onboarding process is pretty simple. First, you're just going to submit an application, and I provided that link in the chat. I believe it says application form. And then, we probably need to have a discovery call. I didn't include that step in there, but the next one is document verification. So we're going to take your passport scan, reference letters, and your diploma, and just verify that those are real, and get your official employment approval in Thailand. once we have that, we can ship all of your visa paperwork to you abroad, so that you're ready to apply for your visa at a Thai embassy. So depending on whether you live overseas or you're based in Thailand, the process is a little bit different. I think somebody's based in Chiang Mai right now, so we can address that too. But if you're living overseas, basically you're going to take the paperwork we give you, take it to a Thai embassy and apply for your business visa. Once you get that, you're ready to enter Thailand, with a few caveats. At the moment, there's some Thailand entry requirements. The new system they're using as of November is called Thailand Pass. So after you get your visa from the embassy, you're going to need to register for Thailand Pass at least 7 days before your travel date. And depending on whether you want to be quarantine exempt or do the sandbox program in Phuket or Koh Samui or hotel quarantine, there's going to be different requirements. If you're vaccinated, you don't have to quarantine at all. And if you are not fully vaccinated, then you need to do at least a 10-day quarantine in an alternative state facility, which if anybody has questions about that, we've got some articles on it. And then, of course, you need the Thai visa. Okay, so this one I'll just breeze through. If you're going to send us a passport scan, make sure it looks nice, please. And the reference letters, I don't need to mention this now. If we get to that point in the process, then I can explain it over a discovery call, but there's a few things that you'll want to maybe instruct your employer to include in it so that it meets the specifications. Yeah, and finally, next steps. So if you want to get started with this, first of all, fill out an application. We have a special link where we'll give you the 10% off. So that's bit.ly/shelterdnn, DNN for Digital Nomads Nation. And then you can also schedule a discovery call with me, and we can basically look at your situation and find out what the timeline and fees and stuff would look like. Yeah, so there's me. This is our onboarding team. After you sign and get your visa and stuff, you're kind of put into the hands of Apple, who's our visa and work permit specialist. I think she's the best at what she does in Thailand, and I'm not exaggerating about that. She's been doing this for 10 years since they created the kind of license that we have. So, and then we have a Katerina in finance. And really, that's about it. I'll just also point you guys towards our blog, where we have a lot of articles, for example, on Social Security benefits, what those look like, how our solution compares to the Elite Visa and the Smart Visa, and also an article on permanent residency. And then there's dozens others as well. And I won't dwell on this, but we've got great clients and they love us. So if you have a moment, you can go to our website and check out some of the testimonials. So yeah, that's really it. I'll just leave it on this page, Danish, and I guess now we can open up to questions if you'd like.
Wow, Mark, incredible presentation.
I know that's a lot.
Yeah, it's very simple and very straightforward. I even understood everything because it has a lot of components and you mentioned them very well. So thank you very much, Mark. And we already have some questions. So you have a choice if you can check Q&A only tab there, and then you can start from the bottom, like Drake started from the bottom, and then you can go one by one. I think first question has already been answered by your presentation, but you can start from there.
So the first question from Matt, do you accept payments in crypto? Yes, we accept USD coin and Ethereum, and we'll be accepting more soon. So you can expect that list to expand a bit over the coming months. The next one is from WY. So basically, I will work for your company, and your company will be my employer. So not exactly. We're your employer of record. So the idea is you already have a remote work opportunity with a company maybe, or you're a freelancer, or a solo entrepreneur or you have an e-commerce website, but you already have an income. And basically, we will act as your employer in Thailand, your employer of record, and fill basically all of the same functions that an employer would in Thailand. But we don't provide the work, no. Okay, and I still need to find my employer outside of Thailand. That's right. Right. So you're still doing your work for maybe an overseas company, or like I said, you have an e-commerce website or something like that. Okay, question from Carl. We are able to receive the money into a personal Thai bank account. Yeah, so our company uses Bangkok Bank, so we would suggest that you open up a Bangkok bank account to minimize the transaction times. But you'll be able to open up a Thai bank account on your own as soon as you get your work permit. You'll get it digitally on your phone, but they can also print it out for you. And when you take those two things to a bank, it's really easy to set one up. And yeah, we had the question from Matt about more crypto payment options, and yeah, we'll have those coming soon. I'm just going to take note of what you suggested here. Bitcoin, USD. Yes,
seems like
cool.
Yeah, Matt is into a crypto game. We should ask him more questions. So I have some questions, Mark, as well. That
sure.
What is the maximum duration we can be on this visa, and also what is the path to permanent residency?
Yeah, so you can renew your visa each year indefinitely. We plan to be around a long time, and we're actually supporting some of our clients on the path to permanent residency right now, including myself. And basically what permanent residency is, it allows you to stay in Thailand without having a visa. Okay. And there's 3 requirements. They're kind of easy to remember if you remember that the first requirement has a 1 in it, the second requirement has a 2 in it, the third requirement has a 3 in it. So the first requirement is easy. It's you need to have worked with a Thai company, your current Thai company, for at least 1 year. Okay. The second requirement is you need to have 2 years at a monthly salary of 80,000 baht or more. Mm-hmm. And the more the better, really, for the people who are reviewing the application. So 2 years at 80,000 baht salary. Yeah. And then the third one is 3 years of consecutive business visas.
Okay.
So you'll see that Rule 2 and Rule 3 create a kind of, there's kind of an overlap. So what a lot of our clients will do is they'll start out at our minimum billing amount, 1,500. Yeah. And then their net salary in Thai baht is lower. I think it's around 27,000. Mm-hmm. And then after their first year, they will raise their billing amount to 3,000 or 3,500 or even more, so that their net salary exceeds 80,000 baht. Wow. And then after 2 years on that higher income, then they can apply for permanent residency. Mm-hmm. I won't lie about the process isn't easy, but it's something that I'll be going through first in our company, and I'll be documenting the process and making those materials available to our clients. And we'll also sort of have a folder ready of all of the documents you need to apply that would be provided by the company. Wow. So we can assist in that process.
With this business visa, of course, there is a social security aspect, of course, applying, filling out the form, filing the taxes. This is all taken care by Shelter, if I got this right.
Yeah. So we pay your social security contributions, and after 3 months, you'll receive a physical social security card and also a social security number. And you can use that to go to your appointed hospital for free care, or if you go to a different hospital, for example, in an emergency, then you have to pay up front, but Social Security will reimburse you.
Wow, that's I didn't know that. Thailand is doing good, you know. So we have another question from WY that how does this work for a non-US citizens? I assume it's the same, but please answer.
It's the same. There's a list of nationalities that the BOI, they are just a bit harder to work with, but I would say that it's only 5% of the leads we come across are from those countries. If you're from the US, the UK, Europe, and most countries in Asia, then the process is the same. Yeah.
Okay. That's incredible. That's incredible. Now, as the time is running out, I really want to thank you, but I also want to ask you, so if somebody wants to hire you or somebody's watching this replay, if they want to hire you, this is the link, bit.ly shelter DNN, or they can reach you out. Even if they reach you out directly, they can refer you that they come from this webinar so to get this discount. And the first step would be to book a discovery call, correct?
Yep, that would be the first step.
Okay, and last question before, like, you still have a high number of audience still with us. So you mentioned that we love Thailand because of community, because of highest speed of internet. If we talk about Chiang Mai, let's say, what would be the cost of living if a young freelancer out of states or from anywhere moved to Chiang Mai, a studio apartment? Is there any rough range you want to share with us? What would be the cost of living for the studio apartment and just for food and going out?
Sure. So my first year in Thailand, I was a teacher on teacher's wage, about 30,000 baht. I think that's a little less than $1,000. And that was plenty for me at that time. And I felt like I lived a pretty plush life. I had a nice studio apartment. I think that cost like 7,000 baht.
Yeah.
And then, you know, food here is really cheap. Of course, the street food is like $1 to $3 per dish. But even if you're going into a restaurant, you're still looking at much cheaper food, like $5 dishes. There are expensive places too, but you can save a lot of money on rent and food. And then the beer is expensive here.
Okay, and of course the
relatively
beaches in Thailand, right? From north to south, there are beaches, plenty of beaches, right?
Yeah, so you've got Phuket, which is beautiful. Obviously, I think they have enough beaches that you could work remotely on a different one each day for a whole month.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a good to know. So Mark, I really want to show my gratitude that you showed up to my community and you share your wisdom, you share your knowledge and incredible services you guys have there. So I'm really, really grateful for your time, and I'm sure people watching it will reach you out, and we will also be sending in the newsletter this recording, and we will be cutting this webinar recording into the different parts, and we will share it. So have a wonderful day, Mark, and I'm sure that in few months, maybe with updated knowledge, we will organize another webinar. But thank you very much for coming out today.
Thank you, Danish.
Appreciate it. See you. Bye-bye.